Okay, we're back at it. We're going to put the brakes together. I thought I'd just put a little bit of copper coat on the threads of this brake adjustment. So I think it goes like this. Yes. One of those. The double-sided one. The single-sided one. Oh, this guy. Single. Then this guy. Now this one didn't have the little mini springs that the steering one had. There was little mini springs in between this one to take the pressure off, whereas this one is it didn't have that. I'm just going to start with the nuts until I can, maybe I can get a lock washer on here. Oh yeah, that one I can. And let's see if I can really do this. I can do this now. Okay, there we go. A little bit of copper coat. Keep this guy from seizing. Now, a bit of an oversight, I didn't put this in there yet, but theoretically I should be able to spin this guy out and still have everything hold. Let's see. Let's see. See if we can. Okay, good. Yeah, so this guy needs the special little bolt. And he definitely gets some copper coat. Okay. There we go. There we go. Now just tighten these guys up and the brakes are together. Okay, so we got this all together and I tightened these up, and then what I did is I want to test the motor separately from the brakes when we do go install it. So I just actually put these little spacers in here. So right now we're in essence we're taking the spring pressure off of these this brake pack right here. So you can see inside there's the little rotating discs, and this is the internal spline that's attached to the rotor, and of course through to the gearbox. But yeah, just I want to test each one. I want to test the motor, see that it spins securely, and then I want to be able to disconnect the motor and test that the brakes work individually. So I still have a bit of wiring to do to get the brakes on the machine to even hook up to this. So we may just yeah, just run it like this to see if we can get a bump test or a rotation test on it. Okay, here we are, out in the wild. Look at that. Which way does it need to go? I had to take this guy off. Just the balance point was right kind of where he was, and I I didn't want to damage that, so oh, there we go. Okay. We got one started. Let's see if we can get this guy. Oh yeah, there we go. Okay. I brought the hardware out and the Allen keys. This big fella, there's no ball end on this old girl. That's okay. Yeah, so there really isn't a lot of clearance beside the tire to the brake assembly. I never really noticed until I got this thing all put together, but I mean, that could easily just get smeared and crammed with clay. Guy's gonna have to build a shield around that, because even with the factory shields, we'll have to see. I don't know if that's which shield belongs where of the two shields that we have. We'll have to see. We'll have to see if they're interchangeable. The parts book might give a breakdown as to if they're identical. But either way, this has got to be protected, because even just a rock banging one of these guys, it's pretty exposed. So these are the limit switches conduits, but this wire is going to have to all be run again. Here's some evidence of people working on it in the past. So I don't know how old you could say these were, or when this machine was working last, but that's kind of the last known bit of electrical work that looks like was done on it. Everything else has been pretty well the same. It's just this back motor that was taken off, that had bad or had connections replaced. So I wonder if maybe there was a wiring issue. Maybe they thought there was a problem with the motor. Maybe there is a problem with the motor. I mean, we never tested the insulation, and when I was talking to the one fella at the welder repair place, he warned about using a megger to put 1,000 volts through this thing to see if the windings insulation was good or not. He said either it's good or you'll blow it up testing it. So if it's bad, you got to fix it either way. Spend the time and effort on either rewinding it or gamble that it'll just work. So I was hesitant. I'd even found a megger on line at a used one, but again, it's out of my wheelhouse. I mean, after he said that, there was another viewer who had mentioned getting it tested before he put all the work into it, but really the majority of the work was in this. So if this has to get rewound, well, at least the rest of the unit has been taken apart, re-bearinged, and I'm sure it'll make the rewinding process easier, because of course everything's been broken loose and is free and can, you know, it just comes down to labor then for the expense of it getting fixed. So fingers crossed it just works and we don't have to worry about testing the insulation. And hopefully same with all of them, but this will be the big test to see how far we get with basically a spray paint rebuild on the electrical side of things. I mean, the gearbox turned out really good, but oh yeah, that's looking good. Anyways, I'm pretty stoked. I can't wait to get it all buttoned up. I hope I hope it works. I have been noticing that my some of the subscribers have left because I think it's just boring. And I mean, I get it. It's not that exciting, but at the same time, I do feel compelled to kind of go through the motion of at least now we know how it all works. We've seen inside the whole way, we've seen the motor, we've seen the brakes, we've seen the gearbox, and we've kind of touched on how the generating system worked, and I've had some good success with the rectifiers and the generator. So if YouTube keeps saying this is supposed to be educational, well, it's been educational. Has it made any money? No. Has it made any views? Not really. Have the few supporters been loyal and faithful? Absolutely. And I appreciate that. I mean, it really is one of the biggest reasons that a guy keeps going is the community out there that is interested in it. And I knew from the start that it's not cat, and I've said that lots, but at the same time, it's still really cool, and dirt moving and diesel engines and all that is in my opinion universal, regardless of the brand. So we'll see how exciting I can make an electric ejector feature. Let's see how exciting I can make it. I mean, I could jump up and down or make fake drama and have have a bunch of crazy stuff happen, but it's working, and I appreciate everybody's support. So we'll see how far I can get. I'm not going to wire in any of that stuff. That stuff is all going to wait, and I've got a little bit of monkeying to do up at the front of the machine to get those the switches that I disconnected. I have to reconnect the one switch in order to get power back here, and I still have to test those lines to see if they're shorted. But we're pretty close. We're pretty close. I keep forgetting that I cracked a joke about all of my viewers being seasoned, and I keep forgetting that I'm seasoned too. I'm not 19 anymore. I guess that's an attitude to have. I still feel young. I still think I'm young. But I've almost lost my... I used to be Blackbeard, then I was Graybeard, and I mean salt and pepper. But I've almost lost most of the pepper. So I'm pretty seasoned to myself. Anyways, it's coming along. It's been pretty cool and pretty fun so far. This if this guy works, I mean, now we know what we're in store for. If those other 3 motors are similar, I mean, maybe a guy only has to change the seals. Maybe the bearings are all still good. Maybe there's still some some life left in those. I mean, they look rough, but they weren't taken apart, and that can sometimes be one of the most detrimental things to equipment. Is, and we've talked about it before, you take something apart with good intentions, and then it doesn't get put back together, and then the moisture gets it, and on and on and on. So anyways, here we are, just about there. I put some 80-90 in it. I had one of the viewers recommend an oil treatment, and so I'll definitely put an additive into this. And for testing right now, I'm just gonna run the 80-90, and then but absolutely that bit of pitting and kind of unknown for the bearing clearances and whatnot, and those gears in there. Even if we put even if you change the oil every day or every time you used it, it's only like 1.5 liters in here. It's only this much oil. So I mean, it's got these magnetic plugs, and we talked about that already, but 1.5 liters of oil, or 1.5 quarts of oil, is nothing if you were to keep ahead of, or even just to monitor what was going on in there. But yeah, we'll get to it right away. If only I had a snipe. Oh wait, look at this. How convenient. Okay, we are moving forward. Now this guy, I gotta be careful. Hopefully I can just get it where we kind of just put it back together the way it was. I'm hoping that, I mean, the cable looks like it should be replaced, but in the meantime, we should be able to probably should have gloves on for this. Oh yeah, look at that. Ha 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 ha. Come on. Suppose I should get it on first. Before I get it too tight. lights go on. Oh, take this guy out. Okay. Oh yeah, look at that. You gotta go over here. There we go. Okay, there we go. Now. Going the wrong way. Come on, get over there. It's like wrestling a porcupine. Okay, okay. There we go. Haha. Okay. Just about there. A little bit more. We'll put our set screw in. Okay. Look at that. Really go in too far. We'll go one more. Oh yeah, I'll get it. Okay. More. Bigger hammer. Okay. How's that? There we go. Good. Okay. Now we can do the I'm gonna tighten that with. We can do the cable tensioner. So I believe this spins this way. A little bit more. Oh yeah, look at that. Look at that. Just about play a violin. Alrighty. Okay, so I have the contactor on in one direction. I have the motor at about 3/4 throttle. So these 3-phase are live right now. So I'm getting, you see that? So I'm getting 177, 177, and careful now. You see that? Yeah, 177. Okay, so it's working the one direction. But when I went to operate it the other direction, the motor wouldn't turn correctly. So I'll show you now. I think it's in the contactor or in the switch, because when I switch the other one, I get varying readings. I'll show you here. So $175, $175, $170. Well, yeah, $175. So, and then it's feeding in perfect. Same. So this is the supply. Same thing. So the supply is consistent going into both. But when this contactor goes in, he's not sending correct voltage for some reason. This one is, and operates the motor in reverse just fine, but this guy is not. So I'll have to see if I can take this thing apart to find out why it's not sending correct power. It only sends it through these 3 wires. So when this switch is engaged, it's sending it down 1, 2, 3 to the motor, and then when this is engaged, it sends it, but it just switches 2 of the 3 legs in order to change rotation. But for some reason, this switch is getting the correct or getting consistent voltage, but it's not sending out the same voltage for some reason. I don't know why. So maybe that's why that motor got taken off. Is maybe they thought the motor was wrong when really it's something either in, well, it has to be in this. Okay, so first thing I'm going to do is try to just loosen and tighten all of these joint connections. So I believe the motor operated correctly going backwards. This switch worked fine. It kept going backwards, backwards, backwards. Then when I would try to bring it back forward, it wouldn't move. So then I went and I checked the voltages, and there was one combination of the three made the correct or made consistent voltage, but then the other two didn't. And so yet this is all being fed, it's all the same voltage coming in here, so all of these are all the same, except two are lower. One and they're not even the same. One is all three were different. So one combination, it was correct. Second combination, and what was incorrect. And the third combination was incorrect. So I'm just going to try, I have everything shut off. I'm just going to try wiggle these connections. Maybe that's what I'll do first. And then before I take this off and see what's going on behind there. I did preemptively polish these contactors here, but I don't actually know what the contactor looks like down inside there. So maybe this is fine, but whatever this contactor is attached to down there maybe isn't contacting correctly to give me different voltages. Like I said before, there's only 3 wires that go back there. So if the wires were damaged from here back, it wouldn't operate the one way. It wouldn't show the correct voltages from the one switch. So my only explanation, or my only thought is that if everything's coming in the same in here, coming the same in there, this one provides the proper or the same voltage through. It's not like there's 2 sets of lines leading to the motor. It's just one line, 3 wires that go there. So I don't know. I probably should have been an electrician when I was born instead of a welder. But the good news is it did move. It moved backwards. That was awesome. So we'll see. Maybe there's something funny. I mean, we're all dying to know why the motor got taken off. Why did the motor get taken off? So, anyways. Okay, so it's the following morning. And what I found was there was some leaves and grime in there. So I was able to clean these points on the tops and the bottoms. This is what it looks like. A little spring-loaded fella in there. And he just screws on to the fixture of the switch there, and then inside there's just a big C shape with the points touching when this guy comes in. So that was the issue with the difference in voltage, and by last night I was struggling with cold batteries, and I actually couldn't keep filming because I had no more warm charged batteries. So anyways, we'll try to start it again this morning and see if we can get it to operate. Well, there you have it. We got it to work. There's still a few loose ends. I got to do some wiring, troubleshooting with the brakes. I had to be very careful to not let it be rotating while I energized it the opposite direction. I think that's a no-no. But anyways, so the electric motor, it totally works after our spray paint rebuild. Anyways, so yeah, pretty cool. This guy, I mean, it's really important that we get those limit switches working because you could see it bang. And then of course the brakes, getting the brakes to immediately stop the motor. But so far everything seems good. Everything's cool. I think it looked like we had very similar amp draw readings for our load of our 3 different phases. And yeah, to be honest, I don't even know if all of the shivs turn or not. I can't see because I'm up there, but yeah, pretty sweet. And it really doesn't draw that much more than the, I think it was 26 or something, 20, and of course that's not with the magnets, but yeah, so cool. So yeah, she just sizzles right along. Anyways, thanks again for watching, and thanks again for all your guys' support and your comments, and keep them coming, because it's been I think that's been the biggest saving grace of this whole thing is everybody's enthusiasm. So thanks again, and we'll look forward to seeing you on the next one. Bye for now.